left in the middle of the meeting.
Did us a favor. They don't care about our design.
Our design. But it's not our decision.
Life's too short to settle.
It's great, Sam. It's great. Maybe you should have thought of that before I deferred from grad school. Or before we decided to go into debt. Or before your mom gave us the seed money. Maybe any other time than the middle of the fucking meeting. She wanted this for us.
Don't tell me what my mom wanted.
She's waiting for us to come and celebrate. You can tell her that you blew it.
I loved the connection of scenes done in stairways, which are places typically of transition, just moving from one place to another, where and getting to see these characters at this crossroads and stopping at the crossroads. And I really felt, due to the great storytelling, the commitment in the acting, the groundedness, that there was a great sacrifice in the unknown of either direction. And it really felt quite like a ripe liminal space to explore that and to slow down these big moments in life where we don't make a snap decision, where it costs us something. And I think this was done brilliantly. I would have watched hours long of scenes in stairways.
I really enjoyed this piece that spans a range of 3 time periods, 2016, 1985, and then 1962. The performances in all 3 sections were wonderful, as they each showed such emotional range, dealing with big topics like death and the need to break free of society's conventions for true love, most notably with an LGBTQ focus. I thought the writing was so good, as each time period touched on creativity and invention. Great wardrobe choices and location, and lots of great stair shots.
I really liked the 3 stories at 3 different times that they presented, and it was very interesting, and all the performances were very good. I especially really liked the 60s segment, and I think both actresses did an amazing job in that one. And overall, just the 3 different slices of these separate lives in different times is a very interesting concept to go with, and I think it's all very, very interesting.
They have a great concept, and the performances are also amazing. They take us exploring different decades, and also this custom setups and the overall ambience for different times. It's just great. You are really transported to the different timelines, and this is going on around Cassie and people around her, and it's just lovely to see how emotions play a huge part in our daily lives, and somehow it's so complex and so difficult to tackle them, but they made these different scenarios so honest and open and just human. I really enjoyed it.
The composition of the wide shot in the first vignette was beautiful. I love the way everything was staged. One of the elements that stood out to me was the use of hair and makeup and wardrobe in the last vignette. I thought all the pieces were great, like some really beautiful choices, and location as well. Great use of stairs, passageways, but the characteristic of each location was strong, really strong. And the last 2 performers in the last vignette really stood out to me. They both gave great emotion and were really present in the scene.
It was really lovely to see all these different stories about love and especially from an LGBTQ perspective, and within these different time frames and different conventionalities that they're going up against. You do a great job of establishing each of these and showcasing it and giving each character and their story their own voice and perspective, and really setting it with the times. Like, these are very a lot of these issues are still present today, but you put it within this time frame that makes it make so much more sense. And I don't know, like I don't have the words to fully describe it to the lengths that I would like to, but it was just really well done. You did a great job of changing the framing and the lighting for each setting. Great costuming, having it fit every time frame. And I think the dialogue also kind of reflects that as well. In each time frame as well. Just overall, it was a really great piece.
I liked how they started off in 2016 and then worked their way back and then worked their way back, and you kind of get to the kind of inspiration for the name, the legacy that it kind of holds, and how so much has changed between the generations is really, really well highlighted. And I thought it was so well done, and really does show like the legacy of like naming somebody after someone, and then what that kind of can continue to, and whether it's inspired by a full true story with her knowing who she was named after, knowing the origins of Cassie, or not, but the legacy that it now holds.
It was different. I thought it was a really cool idea that we were sort of catching up with these people in the middle of a transition. They were going from one place to another, but they stopped in the middle to come together and talk about whatever they were dealing with in the moment. But it really made me want to know where they were coming from, where they were going to go, and how the rest of the stories were going to go. And so it was really cool. It was like we were caught in the middle of a film, and I wanted to see the rest of the film for each one of these stories. Each one of them had a different feel for me. They all had sort of, especially the final two, I felt like had some sort of a nostalgic or period piece feel to it for some reason. But it was just really neat camera work, the cinematography, the locations, the colors, the set. I didn't mind it, each one of them being in one location, because I was very intrigued as to each one's stories, and wondering more about them and why they were in the place they were at in that moment. So it just kept me really curious. And it was just a really great idea. This was so creative, and I never have seen anything like that before. Just seeing people in these passages, these stairwells passing through, but us getting to have a glimpse of their life in that moment, I thought was really cool.